Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome to Dog Life Radio. I am your host, Rossi Giugio. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. We are at episode 32, and we've got something pretty damn cool coming up. I took an official Dog Life Radio road trip out to the wonderful folks over at Absolute Nutrition Center in Chicopee, Massachusetts. Had a great time up there, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But the fact is, I did a road trip, and normally I'm doing a lot of my interviews over the phone, via Skype technology, most of the time because I'm talking with people, excuse me, from all over the world. Last couple of people I have spoken with were from the UK. That's you, Scott Reed, and you, Ross Atkins from Fight City Gym and Focus Performance. Spoke to some good friends in Italy as well a while back, and don't forget my Aussie friends as well. So anyway, this one was I got to go out to the store, the shop, and speak with new friend Jim over at Absolute Nutrition Center in Chicopee. Or you can hit them up if you are in the local vicinity at 1485 Memorial Drive in Chicopee, Mass. We go through more of that in the interview, and you'll hear all about it. But just to give you a little bit of a taste, just a tease on what you're going to hear. This isn't a GNC, and this isn't just a big business supplement shop that you're going to go in and get the mass-produced, mass-marketed protein powders and energy drinks and all of that crap. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but this place is a lot more than just that. You're going to get your supplements. You're going to get your high-quality products. You're going to get a lot of consultation that you're not normally going to get. And I use GNC as an example. I'll throw it out there. I used to work at one when I was a hell of a lot younger, and believe me, the training and preparation that I had for that job versus what I'm seeing at this place is far and away different. I got a T-shirt and it was shown how to use the cash register. So you can imagine. Anyway, I'm not bashing every GNC out there, just the ones that I'm talking about, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so I reached out to Jim, wanted to have a conversation with him, not only just about his shop and what makes Absolute Nutrition Center so different than all these other places, but more importantly, there is the 4th annual Health and Fitness Expo coming up on May 20th. That will be in Chicopee, Mass. It'll be in the parking lot. They're in a plaza, if you will, large facility, great space for it. There's an awesome event coming up on the 20th, and I highly encourage you to go. We're going to talk a little bit about it. Actually, we're going to talk a lot about it in more detail in the conversation. But just as, like I said, a hint, there are going to be some celebs there, some health and fitness celebs. David Henry, Mr. Olympia, 212-pound, I believe it is. Mr. Olympia this year, first ever in that class, I believe. He is going to be there, as well as Larry Wheels, huge name in powerlifting and the bodybuilding culture. Just two of the names, more to come. There's going to be a huge amount of vendors in terms of your supplements, your proteins, everything along those lines, but more than just that type of vendors as well. There's going to be overall health and fitness, health and well-being vendors. Can't think of another word. Keep saying the word vendors. I can't stop saying vendors. But we're talking about chiropractors. We're talking about massage therapy, and more. So this is something that is not geared at meatheads. I pick things up and put them down. This is not geared at those folks. If you're like that, please come on down. But if you're not, if you're just a general run-of-the-mill type of person who's just trying to become more healthy and really wants to learn a little bit more about what should I be eating, what supplements should I be taking, should I be taking supplements, what types of things should I be doing for my workout, who can I talk to about this? Come on down. It is free. You're going to get a whole bunch of free advice. You're going to get some freebies, some tchotchkes, I think as they call it in the circuit. And there's going to be some great deals, of course, because you've got this huge expo where you got thousands of people who are going to be coming down to the event. And so they're going to run some cool sales too. So if you're looking to buy some supplements, come on down. And more importantly, if you're looking to learn, if you're looking to make a couple of new contacts in the, I guess, culture I can't think of that. At least I stopped saying vendor, right? Anyway, so that's on May 20th. Jim and I go into a pretty good conversation about that and what they offer down there, what makes them so unique, what makes them so different. So I hope you enjoy. I know I did. I know we will be having Jim back on the show. We'll have more in-depth conversations about who knows what, because we will go here, we will go there. Plus, it was a hell of a lot of fun. So now before we go into the actual conversation, we're going to take a pause for the cause and pay a few bills.
Whoa, how did we get on this podcast?
I'm not sure, but I like it here.
It's pretty great, but we should probably tell everyone about our own podcast, Fueled by Deathcast.
Hell yeah. Comes out every Thursday from the Death Wish Coffee Company, the world's strongest coffee.
Every week you can hear me, the Incredible Jeff.
And me, the amazing D-Man.
And we talk about new science discoveries, breaking news from Death Wish Coffee, and we welcome a special guest from rock stars to astronauts and ask them all the question, what fuels you?
The podcast is available right on deathwishcoffee.com and wherever podcasts are found, including iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, and more.
Plus, you can now watch it live on the Death Wish Coffee Company page on Facebook and watch all our videos over on YouTube.
All right. Now you know all about Fueled by Deathcast and how you can listen to it.
But first, let's finish this podcast.
Let's get back to the show.
Hey gang, remember, life is too short for crappy coffee. Check out Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. They have got 2 signature blends. Their Odin Force blend, or Valhalla Java, is a smoother, more mild roast. And for those of you like myself who like a stronger, bolder flavored coffee, check out the flagship, Death Wish Coffee. Fantastic stuff. You're going to love it. It is the world's strongest coffee. If you care about your skin, you should be using Evans Country Clean products. This soap is going to heal, restore, and rehydrate your skin. It's made out of all natural ingredients. And it is hypoallergenic and great for people with sensitive skin. They've got a scent for everyone, including a whole line of products just for men. Listen up. Now, not only is this a top-notch product, but you can also get 15% off by using Dog Life 15. That is DOGLIFE 15 for 15% off when you go to evanscountryclean.com. Check it out. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, just one more thing to clear the air before we jump into it with Jim over at Absolute Nutrition Center. The podcast you should be listening to this episode. We've been going weekly, bi-weekly, every other kind of thing happening, but here they are. I'm going to give you 2. It's a 2 for this week. We've got Strength Squad is the podcast, episode 86, the top 4 unconventional lifts that you should be doing. Even though they do say to become a savage in the title, that is a very highly overused word, almost as much as the word vendor. Anyway, take a listen to that one. Really good episode. And then also, I'm going to throw in a timely one from Strong Talk. Cale Beck over at Strong Talk does a World's Strongest Man Day 1 update. Take a listen to that if you are into it. The World's Strongest Man is going on as I speak. This is late April, so you can get a pretty good up-to-date review of what's happening, at least bird's eye view, so to speak. Not the official results, but pretty cool to get something because there is no live streaming of this event. And it is a quick listen, so there you go. Those are the 2 podcasts that you should be listening to. And now I'm going to turn it over to me and Jim. All right, we're rolling. It's weird. I used to start these things by saying, okay, we're live, but it's not live.
It's not really live.
It's never live, so it's kind of fucked up like that. But we're rolling. This is Dog Life Radio, and I am Rossi Jujo. I am here with Jim at Absolute Nutrition Center in Chicopee, Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show, Jim.
I appreciate you inviting me on, and hopefully we can inform some people about some cool stuff we're doing.
Yeah, you got a lot of great stuff going on. I had to literally, I was taking some notes because I want to ask you a ton of questions because this is more than a supplement store. What I wanted to talk to you about, the thing that got me initially interested and wanted to reach out to you was the Fitness and Health Expo you got coming up May 20th.
Yes, sir.
Here in the parking lot. Let's talk a little bit about that. This is the 4th annual. You've been doing it for 3 years prior?
Yes. So, long story short is we found the Europa show in Hartford, Connecticut got canceled about 5 years ago. And there was a need for a place for people to come, talk to a bunch of vendors, meet some pro athletes, because realistically, other than New York City, there's nothing in the Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire area that has a show like this. So got a hold of a few different reps. Europa Sports is actually the number one distributor in the country.
Yep.
They backed me up really good in lining it up. So we did this 4 years ago, got 20 different vendors involved.
That's awesome.
Got probably 3 or 4 pro athletes, including, I believe the first year we had Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman here.
That's friggin' incredible.
It was amazing. I'm not going to lie, you know, Cutler being a Massachusetts guy, it was cool having him here, and always loved Ronnie Coleman. And when I say he is the most humble human being I've ever met in my life, he came up to me afterwards and put his hand on my back and asked me to please have a protein bar. And like, you're Ronnie Coleman, please take as many as you want. So we decided to do an event to where we get 20 to 30 vendors.
Yep.
We try to get at least 5 or 10 pro athletes, maybe not name brands.
That's
Athletes,
tough
but
after Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman. It's like, where do you freaking go after that? I mean,
it
that's
is
tough.
And a lot of these companies, unfortunately, over the past probably 3 to 4 years, have gotten very greedy in what they want. They want you to spend $5,000 or $10,000 per person to have come here. And the problem with that is we spend a lot of money that day between just the tents. We have to rent police officers. We have it catered, but yada, yada, yada. It just becomes a massive expense. So this year we have done it a little bit differently, where we have IFBB Pro, Mr. Olympian, David Henry is going to be here.
Freaking cool.
It's absolutely amazing. He is probably the second most humble human being you're ever going to be in bodybuilding. Phenomenal guy. He actually is a local guy, lives right in South Hadley, so he actually goes to the gym right next to us, which is great. Always willing to give good advice. He has a great t-shirt line that he promotes. Then from a pro point of view, we have between bikini, figure, fitness, and bodybuilding and men's physique, we have probably another 8 or 10 different pros that are going to be hanging out with the vendors. They have pictures, signing autographs, and these are, again, not name brand pros like the Ronnie Coleman or the Flex Lewis or those guys, but they're people that are just phenomenal in their own way. So this is a different type of event. It's not just a supplement only. We have a chiropractor here. We have massage therapists here. We have guys coming that has soaker tubs that a lot of athletes use. The Med Express is going to be doing blood pressure screening. So it's more than just come buy stuff. It's come learn about the industry, involve yourself with general health rather than just sell. We want it to be a true health expo. We have a karate studio that's going to be doing a demo, a dance studio that's going to be doing a demo. Figure try to get the kids into stuff young that's going to help them kind of get a little more athletic.
Super cool. That's exactly where I wanted to go, is because, you know, you walk in, you see your store, it's an awesome looking place, you know, supplements, and you're thinking along the lines of, you know, bodybuilding. Our quick conversation out front about powerlifting. We're talking about David Henry being here, you know, Mr. O, but when you start talking about those things that you're bringing into it, more educational and fitness for all, because my thought is, you know, you've got your culture and your subculture of people who are into bodybuilding, okay, and that's like only so many people. Exactly. There's so many more people in it for just general all-round health. So when you're talking about, you've got massage therapists and everything else you were just talking about. So if I come, when I come, because I'll be here, you get to walk around. I'll get to go and talk to different chiropractors and about, okay, so why should I go see a chiropractor?
Yes.
Why should I go? I know why you should go see a massage therapist. I'm so overdue for one right now, but
A lot of people don't realize they should.
it's such a great recovery tool. I mean,
Yes.
when you get anybody who's ever worked out, whether they're lifting weights, doing a cardio class, you know, do jiu-jitsu, do karate, whatever, and you have that muscle soreness, my take is that soreness is what you need to kind of work out.
So what we found over the last 2 or 3 years, my employee Rick is he's a record-holding power lifter. He's been doing this for about 6 or 7 years now and suffers from chronic groin injury, chronic back injuries. And it's one of those things where he goes probably once or twice a week to get the massage worked on. And his problem actually is his hips are out of line. Now, he went years without doing anything with it, and it kept being injury. So now that he's preventative, now powerlifting, you're still going to get injured anyways, but now they're very minimal compared to what they were. They were debilitating injuries before. Now that he's getting the massage therapy, and a lot of people think massage therapy, and they have the misconception of, I'm laying naked on a table, it's just some random person rubbing oil all over me, and this is pointless. If you get a good massage therapist, they're finding the trigger points. They're finding the fascia tissue that has the issue. They're finding scar tissue that you didn't even know you had before, and they're working it out time and time again. And a good massage therapist will see you once a week or once every other week, and you should be noticeably more agile, more flexible, a lot less pain. And there's that whole aspect of it that a lot of people don't realize the importance of it. Same thing with chiropractic.
Yeah, I go to a chiropractor, a local guy in Granby, Connecticut, John Hinchner, shout out.
Nice.
Fantastic. And mine is more on the maintenance side. It's just I go every so often or whatever, and it's because I have very similar problems. I used to compete powerlifting. I have back problems every now and again. Mine are mostly because I'm lazy and I don't warm up enough. As I'm getting older, I got to warm up even more than I did when I'm younger, and I got to get that through my head. But I find that the going in for an adjustment every now and again, a little bit of treatment, combine that in with a little bit of massage therapy, I recover quicker, much more preventative, so I'm looser, more flexible. And, as I'm getting older, I'm not looking to go break records for deadlifts, but I do like to run around and move a bit more,
It makes everything work better. And actually, you just touched on something that we try to school a lot of people on, is that warming up. A lot of people are scared to warm up. And that's kind of to go back to why we started the event, is kind of touching on knowledge. So we tell everybody, we run things a little differently. We have reps from all over the country coming up here. And a lot of people think, little city of Chicopee, why would a bunch of reps from Florida, Texas, California? It sounds kind of weird, but, Eastern PA, Western PA, Jersey, why would they come up to Chicopee? And it's because we run an event that's more knowledge-based, and a lot of these reps won't just try to sell you something. A lot of these are pro or ex-pro bodybuilders that if you say, I have a shoulder issue, they will talk to you for 20 minutes on how to foam roll, stretch, everything that encompasses the injury prevention. Again, it's not just a come here and buy. It's a true health expo, not just a shopping expo, and that's what we try to touch on.
That's great. That's the piece I wanted to really focus on, because I feel like I'll call them every person, every man, every woman. You shouldn't be intimidated by thinking, oh man, I'm not a pro bodybuilder, I'm not competing in a physique or bikini or whatever, but everybody gets sore. Everybody can learn from it, and the fact that you've got people that you can come talk to about it, more than just going, hey, I need a good protein powder, and can we talk about some cool supplements or whatever, even though I think that's important as well. But we can hit on that as well, because we were having quite a good conversation about quality of protein powders, but the education on the health aspect of it. So you've got all of these different vendors that are providing a whole shitload of different
every aspect of knowledge.
Every aspect. Yeah. That's incredible. What else in terms of vendors and on the supplement side? Anything in that space?
So the top vendors that we're going to have that we really think people should make sure they stop by and see is there's a European company called USN. My rep Edwin Gonzalez is coming up from Florida. He is a phenomenal guy. He's been in the industry for going on 15 or 18 years. They're a relatively new brand to the U.S. We've had them for about 2 years now. Quality is good. And you actually just said it. A lot of people don't understand that there are different qualities in protein. I'm a car nut, so I put everything back to grades of gasoline. Not only is there a difference in the grades of gasoline, there's a difference in where you get it. I will never buy, and hopefully nobody owns Cumberland Farms that's listening, but I'll never put Cumberland Farms gasoline in my car. It's usually try to get a Mobil, a Sunoco, a Shell, because there's different qualities of gasoline. Same thing goes on with protein. So these guys, you're going to be able to sample their protein and realize it's not gritty, it's not grainy, it's not going to get the bubbly gut syndrome that you get a lot with some other, hopefully we can mention the name, but Walmart protein and stuff like that. A lot of people come in here, and especially a lot of females have really bad digestion issues, and they come in and say, I can't do protein, I can't do whey protein, it
so
destroys
harsh
me.
on them.
Yeah, I get gas, I get bloating, I get diarrhea. My own wife refused to do proteins for years because she heard from all of her friends she would feel like crap.
Yep.
Finally got her into doing the whey isolates. Whey isolates is just the highest quality protein. They're easily digested. There's no lactose in them, and that's the problem with a lot of lower quality proteins is there's a lot of lactose in them. And that kind of goes back to, we keep kind of going back to the thing is, I want to really beat people up with the knowledge. And just a little background on me. So I'm a certified sports nutritionist.
Thank you. I forgot to do that.
I'm a certified sports nutritionist. I'm a certified trainer. I'm a prep coach. I've owned the store. This past April 1st was 20 years in business. And one thing, there's a gentleman, actually, if you guys have Google in front of you, look up Robert McRae or TT McRae. 910-pound bench press. He is top 5 in the world. He is a gigantic teddy bear of a guy. But he words it as, we are the Cheers of the supplement industry. Any given time you come here, actually you can probably hear people up front right now, people hang out here for 10, 15, 20 minutes just shooting the shit. Yep. And it's, you come in here and a lot of young kids come in, they almost feel intimidated. And you have people like TT that is a 380-pound, we call him the silverback gorilla, where he will talk to you like he's on your level, and you can learn what the difference is in protein. A lot of women, and it's a shame, a lot of women come in and they see, not that I'm a big guy by any reason, but, a 250-pound, bald-headed guy behind the counter. Rick is 313-pound power lifter, and they're almost really intimidated, and you shouldn't feel that way when you go into a nutrition store. Whether you're a 18-year-old woman or a 6-year-old woman or an 18-year-old boy or a 60-year-old man, we want everybody to be able to come in, ask questions, learn about, and if you don't buy something from me today, I'll still give you the knowledge, and hopefully you come back. But if you don't, I'm glad that I gave you the knowledge that you need to kind of make a difference in your fitness or even just your general health.
So that's a huge piece because I think it was a couple weeks ago I was talking with Scott Reed. He's a United Kingdom two-time strongman over there.
Yep.
And we were talking about nutrition, and it was all about. Today, it's so important to have supplements because people just generally do not have the time, nor the resources, nor the funding to really get all of what they need from a nutritional aspect in their day-to-day food.
It's almost impossible.
It is. Like when you sit and you listen to guys like Rob Wolf and all these paleo guys from On It, which, that's cool, whatever, very informative, informational stuff, like a lot of the things, but they may have the resources and the time to get everything from food, or Mike Dolce, or throwing these names out. They're successful guys, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. Like the people coming in, generally they're not. And then if you're not offering those pieces of information or that knowledge, all I can think about is, well, where are they getting it? I know when I was a kid starting, I got it from Flex Magazine.
Yep.
I saw the pictures of different guys all shredded and ripped. Ronnie Coleman,
Yep.
one of them. Jay Cutler definitely was probably before Jay. It was definitely before Jay kind of ascended to winning Mr. O.
Yep.
It was way before that.
Yeah.
Dating myself. This was back with like Lee Haney, I think, was winning.
The man, the myth. Oh yeah.
There you go. But it was all the ads in the magazines, and I was a Flex magazine guy, and you see these huge bodybuilders. I was lifting weights like a bodybuilder, but I was not eating like one, and I was buying probably crap product.
Yep.
Because it was the one that had the 2-page layout. You know.
And one of the big things that they did that Muscle Mag International, Flex, all those guys were owned by the publishing company that was actually owned by Muscle Tech. So what they would do, and what they would do that would blow my mind, and a lot of people didn't take the time to read the bottom of the page. They would have 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, sometimes 10-page.
Yeah, you thought
reviews.
it was an article.
Yeah, you look at it, oh my God, hey, this is the type of protein you need, and they happen to compare 8 proteins, and then look at that, Nitro Tech happens to be the best one.
Without a doubt.
And a lot of people come in and they would come grab the Nitro Tech. And one of the things that we have adapted over the past 20 years of business is I've learned I sell people what they need, not what they want. And a lot of people get confused by that. And basically, it's if you come in here looking for a Muscle Tech, people don't understand. They're like, why don't you carry Muscle Tech? It's the best in the industry. No, it's Walmart's best now. People come in and I want, actually all of them, EAS, Muscle Tech, Metrex, Muscle Milk.
Yeah.
The problem is all those companies, like Pepsi-Cola owns the Muscle Milk division of Cytosport pretty much. And what does a big company do? They come in and say, okay, how can we make more money? Less quality of the product.
Yep. Mass production.
It kills me because if you don't go to a place to get the knowledge, your results are gonna slow down. Your digestion is gonna be horrible. Things you just aren't gonna feel right. And a lot of people come in, and again, you just touched on it a second ago, is say, well, I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't need the best protein. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're a bodybuilder. Do you really want to be sitting on your couch and have uncomfortable gas pains and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's like
doesn't matter what you do.
Like that bloat feeling, because I think everybody who's listening has felt this one way or another. They've eaten something sometime, and then over the rest of the day, whether it be immediate or even through into the next day, you just feel thick.
Yes.
I know I feel that way, and I'm like, God damn it, I shouldn't have, snacked on something, like one of my kids' snacks or treats, just pop, instead of taking the time to eat something a little bit different. I don't feel lean and tight. I don't have washboard abs, but I can definitely sense uptight feeling
Oh, yeah.
versus bloated feeling. It's that one where you go when you're bouncing back and forth between that notch on the belt, going, okay, I got to go out out to the one I don't like to be on, as opposed to being sucked into that last notch. And it's because of that. And I've had people on before, and I've heard people talk about you need to listen to your body,
Yes.
and that can be a confusing concept, because if you're thinking, well, I'm hungry, I eat, I enjoy the taste, and I'm good. I'm not necessarily overeating, but I'm not feeling really good. I don't know that comparison afterward. Listening to your body is a tough one to get to.
It's excruciatingly difficult. And then there's so many different aspects of diets that a lot of people get extremely confused with. And it's not just a male or female thing. There was a gentleman the other day that he's trying to lose weight, so he's only eating 500 calories a day. And I said, that's the worst thing you can do.
That
Your
is
body will
awful.
hold on to everything. And his response to me was, well, I was told to listen to my body. I'm not hungry. I said, your body's not hungry because it's basically in starvation mode and it's shutting down function. I go, I bet you're tired halfway through the day. He's like, oh, I could nap 4 times a day. I said, you need to be
That's a sign.
1,800 calories minimum just to get energy. There's a girl that I coach that actually is doing a bikini competition today. That was just showed you her picture. She is 5 feet tall, 106 pounds, and we had her about 2,800 calories to gain muscle, and she maintained a six-pack the entire time.
Just going to say, the pictures you showed me, lean, ripped.
Crazy ripped. And right now, she's, even as of yesterday, she's still over 1,500 calories at 104 pounds now at stage weight. And a lot of people say, that's impossible, that's impossible. No, it's the right calories. It's where the calories come from. It's the proper proteins, the proper carbs. All that make a big difference.
The balance of the macros, the
Yes.
appropriate balance of the macros. She's not eating, I'm going to guess, she's not eating a whole bunch of white bread bulky rolls.
No. Ugh.
My guess.
Yes,
I'm just throwing
that
that
is-
out there. Probably not having a whole bunch of Subway sandwiches because, you can get really lean on those, right? She's not eating that.
No, the Subway diet, oddly enough, is not the best diet for you.
No.
It's
Jared lied?
Jared did well.
He lied a couple of...
He had a few different things he lied about. But yeah, and that's the stuff that we do. That is, it makes it fun to do this for 20 years. Is we work with people on their diet. We try to teach people. But the most difficult thing is the misinformation that's out there, and it's frustrating because people tend to listen to what's on the internet or what a quote-unquote doctor said. And a lot of people don't understand. Doctors, now they've actually made it where nutrition is an elective. A doctor does not need to do one class of nutrition.
Isn't that... It's freaking scary. You go
mind-blowing.
you go to a doctor and, I'm having a problem with this, and, let's talk about my nutrition, because I think maybe I'm eating some foods that are really triggering some inflammatory responses.
Yes.
And they look at you with that deer in the headlights, and they're like,
Let's just write a prescription for
Yeah.
anti-inflammatory.
yeah, we'll get you a script.
Yeah, and it's
Prescription.
There was one gentleman in his 70s. I won't mention his name in case he's listening. He was a very athletic guy, so he probably does. You probably remember this story though. We were looking at a multivitamin, simple multivitamin.
Yeah.
And he took a picture of it with his phone, and his exact words to me, quote unquote, "I'm going to take this and show my dentist." So I said, "Your dentist? So your dentist do nutrition or weight training?" He said, "No, but he's a doctor." So the look that you have on your face right now is the look that I have of, what the fuck did you just say? And I said, listen, yeah, he's a doctor, but he knows nothing about nutrition. I went to school for nutrition, and forget about what I learned 20 years ago. I have to constantly update myself. There's web seminars, and there's, different online forums that I'm involved in, and just talking to some of these reps that make me look like an idiot when it comes to nutrition, and I consider myself knowledgeable. But you want to listen to your dentist. And I said, yeah, and he left. And there's certain customers I'm not going to argue with,
Yep.
especially a gentleman in his 70s. They're stuck in their way.
Kind of get set
know.
in stone there, yeah.
But it is that misinformation from all aspects. The news media, and I'm not one of those conspiracy, fake news media kind of guys, but some of the stuff that they put out there, you just kind of, you turn your head like a dog hearing a weird noise, being like, what did you just say?
You got to consider the source. I mean, I wouldn't categorize myself as a conspiracy theory guy, but I totally believe that I did a whole show on the American Heart Association
Yes.
and all of the corporate contributors for it. I'm like, it's all bullshit.
Yes.
It's the exact same things. I don't want to go, rabbit hole there, but you're absolutely right. You think about, well, who's paying the bills? These advertisements, so-called experts. I even go down the path like you're saying. You've been doing this for 20 years. My guess is you've had a shit ton of successes. You've probably had a bunch of failures that you've learned from.
Oh, yes.
Experience. So combining experience with actual practical knowledge, to me, is the best combination. As
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with these kids coming out of school wanting to help you and be a nutritional coach or a certified trainer, but coming right out of the gate, I'm a little bit less inclined to jump in and sign up. I love being able to talk with people who have been there and done that, and can apply that to the uniqueness of what I'm coming to you with.
So you just nailed something that. So part of and as I mentioned, what we do, I do prep coaching for people to do competitions, but we also work with the general public. And one of the most frustrating aspects of personal trainers are, I'm one of the few personal trainers in this area that is also a nutritionist. And a lot of people don't,
Fucking huge.
and they don't understand what that means. So, my personal trainer told me to eat like this. That's great. Does he have a nutrition background? I think so. He would have told you if he did. Because that is something that, if you're a nutritionist, it'll put you on a whole different
It's on
level.
your resume.
Yeah, it's 100%. So, the other thing is people that become personal trainers or prep coaches only because they did good in one show that somebody else wrote their diet for. And like these girls today, I'm going to be in constant contact with them all day, and they're sending me pictures throughout the day of what does their stomach look like, how do they feel. One of them just texted me, I can only eat half my meal, what do I do? You put the fork down. You need that difference, because other prep coaches be like, eat what I said, I'm not going to talk to you throughout the whole day. And there's 3 girls and 2 guys that are there right now, and every single one of them is doing something different when it comes to their food, because everybody is different.
That's a huge piece. People forget that. They say, I listened to a podcast, saw a template online. It said eat X, Y, Z. So that's for me. I have to do it.
And they don't change.
Wrong. It's wrong. It's like maybe in theory it's a great starting point, but then you got to listen to your body. You got to be able to talk to somebody. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No. And what I was saying is, and one of the things we do different versus a lot of the trainers that just hand somebody a diet is, and it's funny because it's the easiest way to weed out the people that I know are not going to listen to me, is I tell everybody, write down what you eat for 3 days. And they all look at me kind of weird. And I said, well, because what you're eating now is why your body is exactly what it is right now. And then we can adjust and go from there. And usually the rebuttal I get is, well, why don't you just tell me what to eat? And I say, because if I tell you what to eat, then we have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to see what the food I gave you did to your body. Right now, if we adjust exactly how you currently are eating, in 2 weeks we're going to see some sort of a change. Yep. In theory, most people actually do really good with their protein, semi-decent with the carbs, maybe the wrong form of carbs. Again, a bagel instead of brown rice or something, or instead of oatmeal or something like that. But the other thing is people are scared of fats.
Yes.
Deathly afraid of fats.
Yeah.
So most people don't realize they need to be the average female 20, 30, maybe 40 grams of good fat. The average male, depending on size, 40 to 70 grams of fat. But they hear fat and they think fat equals fat belly.
Well, that's because the we've got blitzed in the media and everything have to have non-fat. Everything must be non-fat, low-fat, non-fat, everything. Why? Because fat is bad.
Yes.
Carbs are good.
Well, even along the way of milk for our kids.
Yeah.
There was a chiropractor I saw. You mentioned from Springfield. There was Shea Chiropractic right off of. I can't remember the name of the road right now. Right by Forest Park Road. And she was one of the smartest chiropractors I ever saw in my life, because she was also very nutrition bound. And she said she gets a lot of these parents that give their kids fat-free milk. And she said, why? The chances of your child becoming fat with fat-free milk is slim to none. It's the candy. It's all the other bullcrap that's going to make them fat. Those are good fats. You actually, with the fat-free milk, sometimes will take out some of the calcium and they'll add a substitute calcium. And also they say, raw milk is the best milk. Raw milk scares the crap out of me, though. But a lot of people misconstrued where they should get their fats from, why they need fats, and the amount of fats. So many women come in here, maybe 5 or 10 grams of fat the whole day, but then they're having a bagel, they're having string cheese, and they're having, but it's fat-free string cheese. But but it's got all the sodium and all the other stuff in there.
Exactly.
I'd rather have you eat a real piece of cheese if you need cheese.
Yep.
Once in a while, a little piece of cheddar isn't bad for it.
Right, you get a block of it, and you can cut it and kind of measure it from that point, as opposed to getting the prepackaged, shredded, with all that crap in there, all the chemicals to keep it pure.
Or the American cheese slices that isn't even considered cheese.
Right.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's weird. And then a lot of people are scared of red meats, and we tell everybody everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Turkey. Turkey tastes like crap. Just take some time and season it.
Mm-hmm.
I get sick of chicken. If you get sick of chicken, there's something wrong with you, because there are truly 9 million different ways to make chicken.
Absolutely.
Could
be that you're a bad cook.
Yeah, that might be the general reason. But all that stuff is what we try to beat into people, because a lot of people, don't get me wrong, I'm in this business to make money.
Yep.
I have a wife and 2 kids. Hopefully I can pay for their college someday. But in the end, if you're buying stuff and it's not working because your diet's wrong, I look like the a-hole.
Yeah, well, that's the traditional model. You go into a supplement store. I used to work at a GNC when I was a kid, and it was sell the products, and that was it. I was not skilled to train to talk. I couldn't even talk about the products.
Yeah.
I could say I know which ones they wanted to market on the end caps and all that garbage, but I didn't know anything. So you go in, you buy a pill. It's going to make me healthy, right? It's going to give me abs. I want a Thermogen. I want a fat burner. Back in the day, what the hell was that product that's banned now? Ephedrine?
So Ephedrine's gone on for a little while, but GNC used to sell the Ultimate Orange, if that was back in your day.
Yeah, well, it was.
That was the ultimate energy drink known to mankind that was insane.
Yep.
And what GNC does different, and this is going to be kind of an opening eyes for a lot of people, is, and I tell everybody, I said, if you want to test GNC, go in there at the beginning of the month, within the first week, ask what their best fat burner, best protein, and best branched chain amino is.
Yep.
Go there 30 days later, ask the same question, you're going to get 3 different answers. Because it depends on what they get, what's called the spiff on it. So I don't know if they did it back in your days, but now it's really big where if the employee sells a certain protein, he gets an extra $1 per unit he sells that month.
Yep.
The next month it's going to change, different protein, different fat burner. Cellucor is huge in GNC because Cellucor will give $5 or $10 per bottle that they sell for the employee. So now if he sells 10 of those in a day, that's an extra $50 in a day he made. We have vendors that come here and say, hey, your employee Rick, I'll have him sell our fat burner, I'll give him a spiff. And we're like, nope, I refuse to do spiffs. And luckily Rick is cool enough that he doesn't care. Because same thing, I'd rather sell the person what they need. And a lot of people come in and say, oh, well, what's the best fat burner you have? My best fat burner is by a company called Muscle Sports, but my fat burner for going on 8 months now. Unless something comes out better.
Yep.
And I have more expensive fat burners. This is just what I truly think. It's what I take. It's what my wife takes. It's what a lot of my competitors take. And that's what I tell everybody is, a lot of people are like, oh, you're just telling me that. Listen, I'll have my wife text you the picture of my bottles on the counter. If it's good enough for my wife, it's good enough for you.
That's that measure right there. If you're going to take it and bring it home, then it's a product that you can stand behind.
And one thing that's kind of funny, I should have in my pocket here. I'll show you real quick. Obviously, your viewers can't see it, but I have my pill pouch.
It's got a Ziploc bag with a bunch of pills in it here.
So I'll tell people this nice bright orange and yellow one is actually a non-stimulant thermogenic. So a lot of times I'll take one at breakfast, one at lunch, and one usually like evening time. And I'll tell people, I said, listen, there's my vitamin B12. There's my anti-estrogen I take. I'm on a pro-hormone right now. There's my ketogen. So I'm like, if I'm taking it, and this is not a old-looking bag. This is my ones from this morning.
Brand new-looking, little zippy. And I also see, what do we got there? That's your...
my vitamin D.
Yep.
10,000 IUs of vitamin D. That's a whole different story you should do someday on the powers of vitamin D.
Absolutely. I want we can jump into it a little bit right now, but go for it.
Well, so Stan Efren, if you ever pay attention to him, he is considered the world's strongest bodybuilder.
Yep.
I think his shaker bottle, water bottle, cup thing is the worst thing in the planet that everybody's in love with. But he did a story, and I don't know if you've watched it on a YouTube video, on the most anabolic vitamin out there. And that catches the look you had is the look, like, most anabolic, what the hell are you talking about? So he did a quick little YouTube video, and I recommend you watching it and having your viewers watch it. Just type in Stan Efren and vitamin D. Boom. So, long story short of it is, his vitamin D levels were extremely low, and he had to go up to, I believe, 20,000 IUs of vitamin D, and he was getting his blood work done every 4 to 6 weeks. That's about how long it takes to build up the vitamin D stores. And that's where he needed to go before he started feeling better. And they say the RDA of 1,000 IUs of vitamin D is completely false. The minimum that most people should be on is 5. Most average Americans, unless you're outside in the sun, you're in California or Florida all the time, especially us in New England. I don't remember, other than today, I don't remember the last time we saw the sun. There's so much
It wasn't
snow.
even sunny this morning. Like that.
It is crazy. But the average person should be 10,000 IUs of vitamin D. And then the other stuff that has to go with it, you really should take a vitamin K with it and stuff like that. You can't just take it by itself. In the old school days of the prescription, most doctors give you 50,000 IUs of vitamin D to take on Monday. Well, yes, vitamin D does have to build up, but it's always better off to take 5 or 6, 10,000 IUs throughout the week
Yep.
or 5,000 for 7 times gives you 3,500 or 35,000. Rather than taking the big one in the morning, and it's made a significant difference. So yeah, I mean, again, you see my pills. I mean, I don't BS anybody. I have my Virilatat, which is my little energy / test booster, and I have my multivitamin in there. I have a cleanse product. Just when you're on a pro hormones, I always recommend to be on a good liver cleanser all the time. So, and I show people, I'm like, listen, I don't just put my pills in a new baggie every day. This is what I take. You know, Rick, my employee, has all of his bottles in his office. Like, this is what we take. And I can't tell you how many products I have that we bring in, find out it's not the best thing out there. We end up throwing it away. I'm saying, why don't you just sell them cheap? I'm like, I have the wrong way to do business, I'm told, but I would rather throw it away than sell somebody something I don't believe in.
Yeah,
and
so you buy it and then it doesn't work. You know, the what is it? The word of mouth on something, a bad experience, is much more powerful and impactful than, hey, I bought some vitamin. You know, I bought a really good multivitamin over there at a gym shop, and it was good. Which that will spread positively, yes. But the negative of, holy shit, I bought this garbage, I'm never going back there. And it's like, okay, so boom, he's on the blacklist.
Well, one of the things that they say in business is you make somebody happy, they'll tell 2 people. You make somebody mad, they're going to tell 10 people.
Yep.
And that's what we tell people is, people are like, oh, you know, how long have you been in business, and you know, do people really like you? I said, you know, not that Facebook is the holy grail. We have 200 feedbacks, and I think I have 1 3-star, 4 4-stars, and 190 something 5 stars. And you'll see people say, you know, the staff, and it's just me and Rick.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the best looking guy in the world, so it's
I
not
do love your hairstyle.
The bald is beautiful.
There you go.
So it's the knowledge we try to get past people, and a lot of people also ask me, how come you don't have multiple stores? You know, it's difficult to run a store and have the knowledge back. An owner-run store always runs better.
Yep.
And the other aspect is I have 2 young kids. I have a 4 and a 6-year-old, and I prefer to see them here and there. You know.
Yeah.
And then my wife's actually a police officer down in Connecticut. To mention Graham's actually an Enfield police officer. So, you know, same thing. She has a really weird schedule.
Yep.
So I'd rather have a store that I know my name's on it all the time. I know who's running. I know how it's being run. And hopefully the feedback stays positive and everything. Even our events, you know, we have to go back to the events. A lot of people come here versus other events and say it's one of the most well-run events. We give each vendor a 10 by 10 spot versus a little half a table so people can actually hang out, sample stuff, talk to the vendors. They don't feel rushed. It's a 10 to 4. It's a 6-hour time. And some of these vendors have 2 or 3 people with them, so you can come, get a bunch of knowledge. You don't buy anything that day, that's fine. We run the deals for a week or so afterwards, but you know, that's the knowledge is the big thing we jam down people's throats.
That's like one of the premises that I harp on in almost every one of my episodes, and what I harp on outside my episodes as well is go and do your research.
Yes.
You have to go. It's tough. There's a lot of information on the internet, and I think, as we were kind of pointing out before, it's difficult to weed through what's true and what's not. And you got to do your homework there, but you got to go out and learn, because at the end of the day, people are going to force information at you, and generally when it's getting forced at you, it ain't true. So you got to go out and take control of your own, take responsibility for your own life and your own nutrition.
That and this is probably going to piss off a lot of people, but I think that is the problem with America. Is most people refuse to take responsibility for their own actions. And it comes in every aspect of it. But one of the big things we tell people is those review sites, like there's supplementreview.com. Everybody says, oh, I've seen on supplementreview.com.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that a lot of these companies, and a few of them got in trouble, and Shreds is a big one that got in trouble. And if you notice, nobody talks about Shreds anymore.
No.
Shreds was one of the biggest companies 2 years ago because they had a whole marketing team that set up fake accounts for supplement reviews. They had a massive amount of Instagram and Facebook, and what they would do is just send free product as long as you posted something.
Yep.
So now you're posting something, you got a free product, all your friends are like, oh my God, you like that? You want more free products, so what do? Of course I do, I love it.
Yeah.
They were considered the marketing genius, and I can't tell you the last time somebody's mentioned the company Shreds. 2 years ago, that's all you heard about. So it's like you said, it's where you get your information from. There's stupid things that I tell everybody kind of pay attention to. So a lot of people say, oh, I can get protein at Walmart or Costco's. And I go, do me a favor. Next time you're there, just hang out for 20 minutes. And you tell me if you see somebody that looks like they're in any reasonable shape buying their protein from Walmart or Costco. It might happen here or there, but for the most part, it's going to be young kids that are just broken, don't know better, or people that just don't know what they're doing and they grab the cheap $3 protein for some reason.
the cost always comes into it. It always does, and it's like one of those things, and it's real because you know I'm not independently wealthy.
It's gonna be expensive. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's. I always say you got to do your research first on what the best product is for you. And when you find it, if you want to shop around and find the cheapest place, that's just smart. Getting the product first and locking in on this is the product that makes the most sense for me for everything that I'm trying to achieve.
Yes.
And then, you know, am I going to go buy it online at this place, that place, the other? Am I going to go to this store, that store, whatever? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, everybody does that when you think about when you buy a car. You figure out what kind of car you want, and then you want to go find the one that matches what's in your the picture in your head. It should be the same thing.
So to touch on one little thing when it comes to that, and we kind of tell everybody is, so I don't know how to word this the right way without sounding kind of weird, and this is why I wanted you to edit me, but you refused to.
I can't do that.
That's I tell you what.
No, I just can't. I don't.
No,
know.
the true way to do it is how we're doing, but is you got to be careful shopping online. And this isn't from a hey, you know, taking money out of my pocket point of view. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I think Amazon is destroying the small business aspect. Yep. But also kind of keep in mind is what is knowledge worth? Mm-hmm. And we tell everybody, and I'll tell everybody, listen, if you can save $5 off of a supplement, but I am the one that told you about it, we talked for half hour about it. Is that worth $5?
Oh, that's a loyalty thing right
That's
there,
what I'm saying.
man.
But I tell people, I say, listen, I go, if I sell you something, but you found it for half price somewhere else, listen, buy me one too, because that's probably less than my cost, and I'll buy it from you.
Yep.
You know, so we tell people there is a little loyalty aspect that if I'm willing, we do free. You can see my scale here. Yep. I have a $400 pair of calipers. We do body fat testing here. Right now you're actually in our posing room. We allow our competitors to use the posing room for free. This cost me about $3,000 just to build this stupid room between the mirrors and the lighting. We give, you all see my t-shirt mess going on right now. We get free t-shirts all the time. This behind me is probably 4,000 shaker cups that we're going to be handing out at this event. So we tell everybody is, yes, shop around, you have to. You have to be knowledgeable. Listen, I'm loyal to the guy I buy my car from. If I can save $500 somewhere else, to me in a car that's not enough to sway me.
Nope,
if I can save $10,000, kind of screw you, I'm going somewhere else. So we kind of tell everybody, you know.
I don't think you sound like a jerk. I think it makes perfect sense because if you're going out and I'm coming in and walking into your store and we land on a product and I go buy it someplace else because I could save a couple of bucks, it's kind of fucked up.
Well,
kind of fucked up. Okay, I'm gonna, I mean, come on, I gotta show some respect, show a little bit of, you got me here. I believe it. I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna give you my business. To your point, if I can get it for like half price or pennies on the dollar, it's kind of a different 100%.
Story. And trust me when I say, I have a very frugal wife. She will shop like crazy to find the lowest price. But at the same time, if it's in another store, sometimes convenience and getting it right now. The people that it drives me absolutely crazy. And once a month, we get the one person that, me and Rick are here. I have time to spend with somebody. I'll go through with my amino acids. Before you leave, we'll have to go over some of that stuff. My amino acid section, we probably have 35 different amino acids ranging from $18 to $45. And a lot of people want to know what's the difference. I will show you every difference, the amount of amino acids, the ratio, the essential aminos, the glutamine, all the other stuff in there. Yep. I'll tell you what each ingredient does so you make sure you make the right choice. Now you go to pre-workouts. I probably have 75 different pre-workouts ranging from 100 milligrams to 500 milligrams of caffeine. No nitric oxide for endurance to 11 grams. I'll spend all that time with you. And there's one gentleman I spent probably over a half hour going over all of his supplements and everything. He grabbed them all. I had another customer come in. I rang him out real quick. I came over to him. In the 3 minutes I rang him out, he brought everything up. And he said, hey, I know you said this was $40, but this is $38 online. Can you match it? And it was everything in my power not to snap. And I said, is the half hour I spent with you not worth $2?
Oh, yeah.
And then he kind of felt like a dick. Because then he's like, that's not my face. I said, listen, if I sell you this for $40, if you just found it for $20, I'll be the first one to tell you, listen, they must be blowing it out, doing a deal on it, and that's another thing. Watch out for deals, especially Amazon. A lot of stuff is close to expiration. But, we tell everybody, listen, we're going to be within 10% of online.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that my knowledge and everything else. And I said, listen, I'll give you a free t-shirt. Free t-shirt might not mean much for you, but it probably cost me $4. It has a $15 value, but it's free for that $2 you're going to save. And then most people will go with it. It's just the people that just try to beat us up.
That's a rough spot, too, because if you get, I use Amazon. I don't know too many people that don't,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
You get your toilet paper, whatever, delivered. A lot of convenience factor. But when you're going in to do research, do you use Amazon to research? Like, to your point.
Yeah.
Amazon's not going to tell you everything about 35 or the 100 different products they've got on the shelf. It's just not going to be there.
The ultimate compliment / backhand at the same time, and this will happen a couple times a year, is so we sell a lot of pro hormones and we sell a lot of SARMs and stuff like that, and there are cheaper ones than the ones we have, but I know the manufacturers of the ones we have are dead on. I'm not allowed to say their names. I can't even advertise them. But there's one gentleman that specifically updoses his product because he wants to kind of do the middle finger. If it says 20 milligrams, it probably has 22 milligrams per capsule, just so he is never underdosed. I'll have people buy Pro Hormone somewhere else, come in with the bottle, ask me to look at it, and tell them how to take it. So I will say to them, so I said, so I'm smart enough to know what's in here, to tell you how to take it. You want me to help you with your diet to get the best results with it, but you save $10 by buying this online, and I've never heard of this company. So that's the type of people that I was like, wow. And there's some people that and trust me when I say,
some friggin' balls.
Incredible. And those are the type of people I say, I go, listen, I don't want to sound like an ass. I go, but if this is, you don't find any value in my knowledge other than to come in here and basically steal from me, I don't need you as a customer. And then a lot of times you'd be like, oh, well, and it's so you don't have a response. Yep. It's like, and that's another thing too. So we run a big event every year, the one that's coming up in May. Then we run a smaller customer appreciation event. Customer appreciation event is much smaller, but it's one of those. You're going to get a free cup, a free hat, a free T-shirt. You're going to leave with a bunch of samples and everything. And I tell people, I say, you probably get $100 worth of free stuff that day. I just spit right in your arm. But
not the first time it's happened to me.
But I say, how many supplements do you have to buy online to save that $100? I go, just think about that. Yeah. And a lot of them say, yeah, but it's free advertising. Oh, no, it's free to a point because it costs me money for all of that stuff. Yeah. I said, the Chicopee makes me, it's about $500 just for permits to run this event.
I was thinking about that as I was walking in. It's a huge, we're in a big plaza here. There's a gym next door, other stores and stuff. It's a big parking lot. I'm like, this is beautiful, great. And then I went, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
I started thinking, wait a minute. It's going to be roping off a pretty good section here. It's going to be blocked off.
It's a massive section. We have, I'm going to give him a little shout out, but Paul Redeker, tents, up north a little bit. He comes down here. It's about $1,200 for the tents. The Chicopee PD, for whatever reason, or the Chicopee city requires me to have a police detail here in case the protein people get out of hand.
Well, protein gets you all jacked up. It's all those health and fitness people. They're going to go crazy.
It's a little crazy.
Get in fight with the karate people, it could get ugly.
Actually, hey, listen, those karate kids, I'm not going anywhere near them. But it's $500 for a police officer for the day. We have it catered. There's another $500. Behind you is a big box of staff shirts. We have a ton of people, a ton of help that's going to be here. So it's paying for all that stuff. And I say, you have to kind of put two and two together in that, there should be some value to that stuff. Mm-hmm. And especially the competitors, which I know, listen, don't get me wrong, to do a competition, especially if you're a female, your suits cost you $600. Your posing class is $100 a class. Your actual day of the show costs you $300 for sign up if you're doing multiple classes. I know it's expensive, but that's why I try to let them use my posing room for free, so on and so forth. And then a lot of the average people say, well, I don't do that. I said, well, come here, I'll do your body fat for free. No, most places charge you $25.
You're going to walk into GNC, they're going to do that for you?
And they're going to have you grab on those stupid handles. Uh-huh. We do a real 7-point caliper test. It's a Jackson Pollock algorithm. It's the most precise rather than being dunked in the water. Yep. You want to sit down with me for 20 minutes, work on your diet. I'll do that for you as long as you in between customers. So tell everybody it's more than just that stuff. I'll tell you how to eat. You want us to write a workout? I'm a certified trainer. Rick actually has 2 personal training certificates plus, again, a power lifter. I don't do powerlifting workouts. I leave that to the man that knows the powerlifting workouts. Yep. So we can help you with all that. So again, it kind of goes back to the whole gamut of what makes us different than GNC, Vitamin Shop, Vitamin World. Yeah. There's very little one-owner shops anymore around because they're just getting crushed or they just don't know how to do things the right way. And we try to consider ourselves a little different.
I gotta say, very freaking different from my experience. I mean, I've been in the health and fitness space, whether playing sports and whatnot, since I was in high school. Mm-hmm. So, when I was in high school, I was, one of those guys who went in and bought, in high school, I don't even think they had creatine out. That's how old I am. Yeah. That was a post-high school thing. I remember creatine being the biggest thing, but I was taking all of that crap. I bought Muscle Tech. Everything, whatever they had, I bought it. I was one of those guys.
Tech, Nitro Tech.
Yeah. So Jesus Christ, that's what it was. Yeah, but that's not what you get in any of the stores that I've been in. So makes me very interested in seeing what's happening in this space. So it was kind of interesting that I saw the Fitness Expo because you've got like the Arnold happening out in Ohio. You've got massive things, and I saw this. I was like, oh, shit, I gotta go check this place out. This sounds super
a little
cool.
smaller than the Arnold.
Yeah, it's just scale. Yeah.
But we usually get right now, and nobody really uses Facebook anymore for event responses and stuff. We're about 1,500 people saying they're going. We have a huge police and military following, and most police and military don't have Facebook anymore. Maybe Instagram. So we'll probably have over 2,000 people here. It's at no point does it ever feel overcrowded and crazy because the way we set the tents up, there's some other events where it's kind of like you have to be in a line and it's almost like cattle. It's open. You can go tent to tent.
Nice big space out there as well.
Huge space out there.
Very cool.
Parking might be a little difficult, so we tell people kind of take your time. There's a couple other places up the street you can park and kind of walk down here, but make sure you come.
Anybody who complains about walking to a health and fitness expo should shut the fuck up. You're gonna make me walk?
I've said that to people. There's a Knights of Columbus right up the street, and they usually allow us to overflow park. People are like, I gotta walk. I'm like, it's a 10-minute walk to a health expo.
Yeah,
like
it's not
unless
like
it's
walking to
raining
McDonald's
or
or
snowing.
something.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on. No. Yes, I agree with you, brother. I agree with you.
Get your steps. Shut up.
It's like just knock it off. But it's definitely a fun time. And we kind of tell people if you're more the serious type that want to come and really talk to the vendors, come after 12. Because the greedy people that just want free stuff come at 10 to 12.
Yep.
Which is fine. Most of the vendors run it a little differently. Because of the expense of protein and everything like that, it's just not a trick-or-treating event. They're going to be live sampling everything. The other thing that it sounds like common sense, but every year we have a handful of people. Keep in mind, just like a wine tasting, if you sample 35 pre-workouts, you're going to be geeked out of your mind. Eat some food, or make sure you try some protein samples in between there. But again, we're going to have at least 25 supplement companies that are going to be sampling out protein. Their amino acids. Amino acids are huge now, and they're going to be sampling out their energy drinks and everything. So come in the afternoon if you want some time to spend with the vendors.
Yep.
One of the things that we do is a little different, so actually it's funny your laptop is sitting on them, is we have a lot of the shaker cups that the vendors, pretty much anything you buy, you're going to get a shaker cup.
Yep.
The deals are usually 20 to 25% off the store price, and we're usually 20% off of like GNC price. T-shirts, as you can see, we have piles of T-shirts that we're going to be logoing, so you get a free T-shirt with a certain amount of sale. A lot of the vendors actually have free product they're going to be giving away, as well as actually the boxes in the corners. There's going to be funnels, lanyards, bracelets, swag, just a ton of free stuff. So you're going to get a lot of free stuff if you buy something that day.
Yep.
But if you don't buy something that day, you're going to be able to try everything, talk to the vendors, take a look at the store, take a tour around. A lot of people, the store will be we're a 3,000 square foot store, which is, a relatively large store, but when you get 30 or 40 people in here, it gets small very quickly.
Absolutely.
There will be vendors in the store helping people, and these vendors are awesome because even my Dymatize vendor will, we don't carry, Dymatize does not have a high-end amino acid, so if you buy the Dymatize ISO 100, which is one of the best proteins on the market, but you want a more advanced amino, he's going to show you a better amino. He's not going to try to talk you into his one.
Yep.
But if you're budgeted, he's going to show you his $20 amino. So it's great to be able to learn, but a lot of people, they look at the store and it's a little intimidating. We'll hold, usually the vendors leave us a ton of stuff, so feel free to come the week after. Still get the knowledge. A lot of the vendors hang out for the week, so there'll be still 2 or 3 vendors a day probably in here. But definitely come outside. Enjoy the hopefully beautiful weather we have.
Knock on wood, man.
And there's going to be a ton of beautiful men and women here. VPX energy drink Bang. And normally they don't have, but they have the Bang girls that are coming. So a bunch of scantily clad women. But we're going to have
really argue with that.
It's rough. But we're going to have a bunch of scantily clad men for the women.
There you go.
Also, so it's a phenomenal time. We have a great time. Rick usually runs the inside. He rules with an iron fist inside. I usually run the outside, and we have a ton of people. Basically, if you see anybody in a lime green shirt that says event staff, ask them a question. If they don't know the answer, they will find somebody that has the answer. and we're just trying to make it a good time for everybody.
It sounds like an awesome show. I'm looking forward to it. I was when I came across the advertisements, I would put it on my calendar already because I want to come and check it out. Really glad that I got the chance to talk with you. Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you. Let's plug a little bit. We didn't even hit the address of where you are. Let's talk about you know, we spoke about social media and whatnot. Let's do a rundown of how people can find you, contact you, how they can find information on this event. So let's just lay it all out.
We'll lay it all out there. Yeah. So we're 1485 Memorial Drive in Chicopee, Mass. If you Google it, it should pop up. But if you're familiar with the area, it's the Ocean State Job Lot Plaza. Facebook, we're going to be at Absolute Nutrition Center. And in that, as soon as you like us or follow us, which hopefully a bunch of you guys do, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see an event page. Yep. It has a picture of basically what the outside is going to look like with some tents and some people walking. Click that you're going. If you say you're going, then you're going to get our constant updates over the next 3 weeks of who is exactly going to be here. We're also going to be running some contests. We'll randomly pick 10 people that share a certain link or something, and the vendors are going to be sponsoring that, whether you get a shaker cup, a shirt, some free product or something. So make sure you're going. And that on Instagram, we're just at Absolute Nutrition. Without the center, just Absolute Nutrition. Follow us there if you can, and we'll be posting up a bunch of stuff on there. If you want to call the store, that's fine. It's 413-535-1111. And if you want to do the old school email, it's just absolutenutritioncenter@gmail.com.
I'm sensing a theme with the Absolute Nutrition.
We try to get it in there.
Makes it easy. All right, awesome.
I really appreciate the opportunity. This is actually my first podcast, and it was a lot better. I'm a little nervous, but a lot better than I was going to be.
You are a freaking natural. This is awesome. Thank you so much for the time. This has been great.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see you.
And there you have it, folks. Another great one in the books. And before you go, hang tight one moment. Remember, we would love to see you on the 20th at the Health and Fitness Expo. I will be there interviewing as many guests and the celebs as absolutely possible. Come and check it out. Say hi to me. I would love to hear from you. And with that, have yourselves a great one. All right, gang. Gentle reminder here, if you want to get 15% off of any of the top-of-the-line products at Evans Country Clean, remember to use the promo code DOGLIFE15 for 15% off of any of their hypoallergenic top-of-the-line products. They have a whole line of scents just for men, so please check them out at evanscountryclean.com.